In this lesson, we discuss Spotlight. Obviously, we only cover features that are specific to Spotlight. For the other attributes which are common between lights, you can refer back to the first lesson of this section. So let's create a Spotlight. From the camera menu, click on Set Active Object as Camera. And let's position our Spotlight. Okay, that's okay. Let me get back to my scene camera and run the IPR. Now we can increase the intensity to something like 3 and exposure to about 2 maybe. The first Spotlight option we have is the cone angle. If I get out of the camera, as you can see, we have our Spotlight and therefore a cone inside which light is being emitted. Let's play around with the cone angle number here. You can see how changing the cone angles affect your light. Then we have the penumbra angle, which specifies how sharp or soft the edge of the light is, or in another word, it specifies an area where the light's intensity smoothly falls off to 0 at the cone edge. Then we have aspect ratio. 1 means we have circular spotlight, and as you decrease this value, you get elliptical cross section, which can be really useful. We got drop off, which controls the intensity of the light at the center of the cone compared to its edge. You can change this value and see how it works. Then we have radius, which is like when we were talking about the size of the area light. So by increasing the radius, we are making our shadows softer and more diffuse, and by decreasing it, the shadows would be sharper. And if normalize was unchecked, increasing the radius not only would make the shadows softer, it would also make the light to emit more light, thus increasing the brightness of our scene. Let me zero out the radius again. The next parameter is lens radius. To see the effect a bit better, let me go to the render setting and under the environment rollout, add an atmosphere volume shader to the atmosphere field. Now, as you can see in the material manager, a new atmosphere volume shader has been added. Let's open it up and maybe increase the intensity to about 0.3. Now we have the atmospheric effect in the scene. Let me get out of the camera, and this is what we have. Right now, the spotlight is emitted from a single point. By increasing the lens radius, you are basically putting a lens in front of the light, so the light will be emitted through that lens. Let's increase the lens radius, and also increasing the lens radius would make the light rays to be more parallel. Let's get back to the camera and change the cone angle so we can see the whole cone. Increase the radius so we have softer shadows. Now remember, in order to actually increase the quality of the shadows, soft edges, you need to increase light samples, but the quality of the areas fully covered in shadow is controlled by diffuse samples in the render settings. Okay folks, so that will cover Spotlight. I will see you in the next lesson to talk about another light type. See you there.